Most doctoral students, at some point in their training, realize that the short summaries of research methods that they read in journal articles tidy over quite a bit of the complexity and messiness in education research. Now, these summaries can spare readers from trivial details, but they can also misrepresent important elements of the research process. Research questions and hypotheses that are presented as a priori predictions may have been substantially altered after the start of an investigation. A report on a single finding may have been part of a series of other unmentioned or unpublished findings. Hi, I'm Justin Reich. I'm on the faculty at MIT, where I run the Teaching Systems Lab, and I'm so glad to introduce you to this unit on open education science. For education researchers, summarizing and reporting how we conduct our investigations is among our most important professional responsibilities. Our mission is to provide practitioners, policymakers, and other researchers with data, theory, and explanations that illuminate education systems and improve the work of teaching and learning. All of the stakeholders in educational systems need to be able to judge the quality and contextual relevance of research, and that judgment greatly depends on how researchers choose to share the methods and processes behind their work. Two converging forces are inspiring scholars from a variety of fields and disciplines to rethink how we publish our methods and research. On the one hand, digital technologies offer new ways for researchers to communicate and make their work more accessible. So many of our current norms of research and publishing have been shaped by the constraints of the printed page, but the costs of sharing information have declined dramatically in an online era. At the same time, the academic community is reckoning with serious problems in the norms and methods and incentives of scholarly publishing. These problems include high failure rates of replication studies, publication bias against null findings, high rates of false positives, and cost barriers to accessing scientific research. Open science is a movement that seeks to leverage new practices and digital technologies to increase transparency and access in scholarly research. There's no single philosophy or unified solution advanced by open science advocates, but rather a constellation of emerging ideas, norms, and practices being discussed in a wide variety of fields. In this unit, my colleague Jose Rui Perez Valiente and I are going to introduce you to four big ideas in open education science. Education research is incredibly broad and methodologically diverse, but nearly all studies include four phases of design, data collection, data analysis, and publication. In a framework for open education science that I developed with Tim Vanderzee for an article in AERA Open, we see opportunities for new approaches to open education science in all four of these phases. The first part of open education science is open design. This means pre-registering studies so that methods and plans are published before studies get started. Through pre-registration and registered reports, research consumers can see what a researcher planned a priori and what they modified after looking at data. The second is open data, finding new ways of making qualitative and quantitative data available to colleagues for reproduction, replication, and new studies. The third is open analysis. New forms of online publishing make it ever more possible for us to share important summaries of our research in published articles and provide much more methodological and analytic detail in supplementary materials. Finally, open access is about making our published work as broadly accessible as possible so that people around the world can take full advantage of our research. No matter your discipline or subfield, I hope that there's some part of open education science that catches your interest. So let's get started.